Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a 1v1 in planetary annihilation between the realms Oxide in the pink and blue, spawning in between the poles here, and Icon Gaming McElDowney is in the green and purple. McElDowney closer to the North Pole, Oxide closer to the South Pole. And we're still recording. Good. Gonna go ahead and control N so we can look at their spawn locations. Metal. Oxide's got a nice group of metal just around his base, and it looks like he's gonna have to do some expansions, but he has nice clumps all the way around. And then back at the South Pole, this expansion right here is going to be critical for Oxide to take in the mid game. In the late game, this is really going to fuel his late game army. Whereas we come over to McElDowney, he's got less clusters around his base, but he has a nice huge consolidated chunk of metal directly to his 6. And then in the mid to late game, he's going to have to do some more expanding, whereas Oxide's clump will come to him in that phase of the game. Got fabrication bots coming out for Oxide, and just the first vehicle producing structure, unit producing structure coming out of McElDowney. Oxide has been definitely diversifying his play, mixing in radars, artillery structures, and nukes into his play, while continuing to improve upon his macro. Oxide is representing the realm in this 1v1 on the Gentleman's Ladder. McElDowney has been improving his macro and really incorporating nukes into his play more, and focusing on that tier 2. I haven't seen how much he's been incorporating radar. Incorporating radar in the front lines and on your flanks is definitely a bonus when you're talking about army exchanges, because it'll give your units that superior range you need. The players are relatively close spawns. They're not right on top of each other, but they're going to be fighting rather quickly, I believe. Looks like we have energy storage out of both players already, with 2 fabrication vehicles working on metal. Looks like another one's coming over here to assist the commander. We come over to McElDowney's base. Same thing, same story. 2 fabricators working on metal and 1 fabricator assisting the commander for energy. So, mirror match. This looks like a mirror match, doesn't it? Both these gentlemen are doing the same thing. This is where it looks like the builds are starting to diversify. Oxide's going air to get that early scouting, while continuing to work on metal. Let's see. This fabricator is going to go ahead and work on economy as well. Whereas McElDowney is solely on his income. Still is not cranking out another unit producing structure, where Oxide's air factory is over 50% complete. So initially it looks like Oxide is gonna obtain McElDowney's location first. If McElDowney notices the direction the scout comes in at, he might have a general idea of where Oxide is at. But Oxide is gonna get the heads up and the option to either go aggressive and start attacking, or get a nice head start on starting this front with radars and any kind of defensive or artillery structure he desires. Let's waiting on these scouts to begin their reconnaissance of the planet, and here we go. Let's see how long it takes for Oxide to bump into McElDowney. It looks like McElDowney's got a air factory of his own up and working on a vehicle factory for his 3rd unit producing structure. Unfortunate for Oxide, he's just barely missing. Nope, here we go. And he's had to see this metal. Yep, he's noticed it. And he's controlling this scout here and right over McEldowney's base. So Oxide has the heads up. He knows McEldowney's scouting out. Boom. Right over the enemy's base. So each of the players know where the enemy is at. Let's see how they react from here and what their strategies are going to be from this point forward. Got some idle bot fabricators here from McEldowney. Maybe his economy can't support him going at the moment, but now he's starting to send them out. Two little bot fabricators doing the tango over here. Not working, that's unfortunate. I'm sure they're supposed to be helping this guy out. That's gonna slow down Oxide's expansion attempts. And we got a nice bomber harass coming in from Oxide. Let's see where these suckers... No anti-air gonna protect these. This can just do a ton of damage. But we have fighters intercepting. Boom! Just dropping out both the bombers. That's a huge pickup for McEldowney. Saving these workers. Saving these bot fabrication vehicles is critical. This expansion right here is going to bring in McEldowney so much income. That was a good save. Unfortunate for Oxide that not only did we got two bots over here doing the tango up, now they're starting to go to work. They lost those bombers. Good pickup by McEldowney with that exchange. Looks like Icon Gaming's McEldowney is giving himself a little bit of an income lead for sure, but we have units coming out of the realms. Oxide pushing forward, getting ready to create this front here. We got tanks starting to come out from McEldowney. Looks like he is definitely in the inferior numbers at the moment. Anti-air starting to go up from McEldowney. And if he doesn't scout these ants starting to build up, he's going to be in trouble with a push. No defensive lines. Units are rallied in the wrong spot. He knows his enemy is up here. He should have his units up here ready to kite back in case he's outnumbered. I don't like this rally point by Icon Gaming's McEldowney. The initiative is definitely in Oxide's hands right now. He has the open window to do some damage, and he's moving forward now. Starting to produce unit producing structures just closer and closer to the front. We've got some workers getting ready to link up over here on the west side. Looks like our first engagement of the game is coming up. The scout has the turrets of the tanks facing the wrong direction. McEldowney gets the first shot off. One ant down for each player, two ants down for McEldowney. Starting a defensive turret up for Oxide right at the front lines. Nice. McEldowney's going to have trouble getting that turret down. And he's going to let it finish. Now is a good time to strike with these ants moving out of position. Another bomber coming in. Oh, and everybody misses. So, the front line is being established. Armies are coming together. Losing some bombers. Unfortunate for Oxide. And he loses that army exchange. So, money value of armies lost is definitely in favor for McEldowney at the moment. Or it looks like tactical initiative, especially with this commander coming forward from Oxide, is in Oxide's hands. with this commander moving forward, is he going to be able to do some damage? McEldowney notices the commander coming forward and starts to bring out his own commander. Do we have any fabrication vehicles for either player to help repair the commanders? The commander's getting some free kills on some ants. Here comes McEldowney's commander with... Oh! Thought he's going to lose that engineer. He loses the engineer. Nothing to repair either commander. The commanders are coming out, just taking out each other's army. McEldowney's falling back with his commander. Each player... Oh, look at the trade. Icon Gaming's McEldowney picks up a huge trade there. Excellent. Which is enabling him to retain the armory lead, even with, looks like, a little bit less unit producing structures. We've got repairing coming out of Icon Gaming's McEldowney. Oxide is down to under 50%, 40%. He starts falling back with the commander. McEldowney has held off the attack, the aggressiveness coming out of Oxide. Oxide does have a turret to fall back to. Does McEldowney come forward with the commander and pick it off? I'd like to see McEldowney pick off this turret here without losing any of these tanks, and that's exactly what he does. He's getting the turret tanking down. This is big. 30% health. The turret falls. This gives McEldowney the opportunity to push forward. These bots are not repairing the commander. Let's go. They're both just doing the dance. Right back and forth at the front lines. Looks like Oxide's army's getting better trades. Constantly being on the move and not coming in closer to the enemy. McEldowney's able to even up the trading with stepping forward with the commander. Pretty much even right now, just doing the dance back and forth at the front lines. Does either player overextend himself and get that commander in trouble? Looks like McEldowney's coming forward and wanting to do some damage to these unit producing structures, just accumulating in his front lines. We have a hyper aggressive game on our hands. Excellent. McEldowney getting to come forward with some tanks, able to work on some of these unit producing structures. Commander's not in the fight with these tanks. Oxide's commander finally just sitting there. What are we doing? What's going on? How is this going to unfold? Looks like McEldowney notices Oxide's commander coming forward for the engagement and goes ahead and brings out his commander to greet him, which forces Oxide to pull back. McEldowney's now able to move his tanks in position to just do damage to these unit producing structures. And the game is definitely picking up. Oxide's commander's down to half health. He's having to back up. And we get the fabrication vehicle picked off. He's unable to repair the commander anymore. He's falling down to 25% health. McEldowney is... Oh, he barely gets the fabrication vehicle there to repair. McEldowney has a strong initiative right now. Let's go and check out how the macro the two players has been doing. McEldowney has definitely been able to do some nice expanding here towards his 6 o'clock. Excellent multitasking from McEldowney during this engagements, as well from Oxide. Both players are expanding extremely well. I like this unit producing structures coming up from McEldowney at the 6 o'clock. With bots coming out of these, he's definitely going to be able to harass these unprotected metals. Oxide is not interdispersing turrets within these metals. If McEldowney can get these up, there they go. All these bots are starting to be produced now. We're going to have some raiding coming in at 6 o'clock from McEldowney. As simultaneously he's seeming to win these exchanges at the front. Excellent multitasking by McEldowney. I like the turret placement behind these unit producing structures to create a fallback point. Oxide's trying to get McEldowney to overextend here. Does McEldowney take the bait? Oxide's coming forward with the commander. Ooh, ants are doing just a ton of damage to the commander. Oxide's got a commander fight more, able to repair McEldowney's commander, so he's able to risk a little bit more. We need some kind of flank to come from these turrets to take out these fabbers, and that would leave McEldowney's commander just extremely vulnerable. Look at this excellent uber cannon going off on the army, extremely evening up the army trades there. Oxide's trying to consolidate his forces while McEldowney is already consolidated at the front lines. He's continuing to push forward. Looks like we're going to be able to start losing some of this energy from the realms. Oxide, McEldowney's gaining the initiative. And we got a huge push coming in from McEldowney. Oxide's losing some energy at the front lines. We come back to the 6 o'clock and the bots are accumulating, just ready to go on some harassment back to the metal. It would be awesome to see Icon Gaming's McEldowney just tear up the 6 o'clock with all those bots that he has accumulating. Looks like he's lost some of those fabrication vehicles and is forced to fall back with his commander, and he has other fabrication vehicles coming up here to get ready to repair that commander. Some energy losses out of the realms. Oxide and a huge wall over here with a nice army by McEldowney just getting ready to go in for the flanking attack. Yes, he's smaller at the front, but he has a nice raiding force coming in at the 6 o'clock and was able to take out a bunch of metal, and he's into the unit producing structures. He hits these tanks and he's starting to bounce around to the outside. I would like to see him go after all this unprotected metal instead of towards where all these reinforcements are coming out of. He has now shown his hand in the fact that he's got army producing out at the 6. Oxide is sending his army into the wolves pretty much. Not getting good army trades here. Looks like we've lost all the fabricators being able to repair McEldowney's commander. We have fighting going on multiple fronts. And Oxide is able to deflect the 6 o'clock bot attack that came in from McEldowney. Looks like McEldowney has noticed this metal over here. He's starting to send bots out to go take it down. And we got another push coming in the flank. Is this the beginning of the end for the realms? Oxide. Flank coming in, and we're losing some metal here. That's inevitable with this engagement. McEldowney continuing to catch the assault coming in at the front. We haven't seen Oxide consolidate his units. He's just been kind of trickling them in at the front and letting McEldowney just accumulate these forces. Looks like he's starting to build a bunch of bombers, getting ready to try to snipe the commander, but McEldowney has found out. He has discovered the plan, and he's just wrecking the air facilities coming out of Oxide. He was able to accumulate some bombers up here, but I think his plans about sniping the commander have been foiled. Plus we got a bunch of fighters back here that if they come forward and greet these bombers, this attempt is... He's bringing the bombers. He's not even going to try to go after the commander. He's bringing the bombers to try to save himself from the attack. Bombers are able to stay alive just a little bit. Oxide throws up the good game. Well played. Icon Gaming. McEldowney takes the victory. Excellent engagements here at the front. Excellent engagements at the 6. And finally it just got to a point where McEldowney was able to out-macro his opponent while fighting on just multiple fronts. Excellent multitasking by McEldowney. Now we're just waiting for the suicide, and there it is. Good game, well played, gentlemen. Thanks for watching, guys. Come back and see us. I am Judicator of Genocide from Icon Gaming. I hope to be bringing you guys some more games from all different kinds of calibers of player. We will be trying to improve our content over the course of time. Thanks for watching. Come back and see us.